Guys, welcome to our online lecture number 2. So here we'll be discussing the different factors that affect or that should be considered when making your location decisions. All right. So here's a quick overview of those factors. So the first one being labor productivity, exchange rates and currency risks. This pertains to the country level decision that we've discussed in our previous lecture. Third one is costs. Fourth is political risk, values, and culture. Three, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. It's all about proximity. So proximity to markets or your customers, your proximity to suppliers, and then your proximity to competitors. All right. So let's look at each one a little bit more in depth. So the first one being labor productivity. So wage rates are not the only costs. So lower productivity may increase total cost. So the thing that you have to consider here, first one, wage rates. So I think I've mentioned in our last lecture that it's actually cheaper to employ people from the provinces rather than it is to employ here in the metro or in NCR because of a lower minimum wage rate in the provinces. So another thing that you have to consider is actually the educational level in that specific area. So how trained or how skilled are the laborers here in that area. So the second one here, second factor is exchange rates and currency risks. So this is really more on the country level decision. In the example that I gave, Apple producing their iPhones in China, the currency exchange is actually to their advantage, but with everything going on, stock market crashing, so there's a risk involved because the prices tend to fluctuate together with that exchange rate. Third factor being costs, so tangible, easily measured costs, just utilities, so paying for your electricity, your internet, your water, your labor, material taxes. Second one is intangible costs, so less easy to quantify, include education, public transportation, community, and quality of life. All right. So fourth factor is political risk, values, and culture. So this pertains really more on the political state of that area. So whether there's a war going on there, maybe um, some civil unrest or something like that. These things are some factors that you have to consider as well. So also you have to consider the laws and the specific laws present in that area, in that country or city, that could possibly affect your operations. All right. So for the next three, these are all actually very, very related. So the first one being proximity to markets. So let's say this pertains to how near you are to the consumers that you will be selling your product to. So for example, your base of operations or your manufacturing, your factory is in Cebu and you're selling in malls here in NCR, here in Metro Manila. It will cost you time and money to actually ship your finished products from Cebu to your selling points here in Metro Manila, for example, in the malls. For example, in Mega Mall, it'll take you time and money to actually do that. So JIT systems or high transportation costs may make it important to manufacturers. So yeah, basically what I've just discussed. Next one is proximity to suppliers. So perishable goods, high transportation costs, bulky products. So similar to the previous example, if your supplies are coming from Cebu and your base of operations are in Metro Manila, it takes time and money to actually get those goods, get those supplies to your factory in NCR. This is gonna be very important, especially if your goods are perishable. So it might take a long time for them to actually reach your factory, and by the time that it gets there, it might already be spoiled. All right. So next one is proximity to competitors. So called cluster. It's specifically called clustering. So it's often driven by resources such as natural information capital and talent. So found in both manufacturing and service industry. So there's actually a good little video here that explains why for example, why a lot of fast food joints or a lot of gas stations are actually near each other. Okay, I'm not sure if you guys will actually be able to hear this video. So I'm not sure. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna post this video in our group, and you can watch it there. But I'll just give you a good summary of what it does. So basically, as a company, what you will do, for example, all right, so let's take an example. For example, you have a circle. Let's insert a shape. Where are my shapes? Let's insert a drawing. All right, fine. Insert a drawing. All right. Okay, so for example, you have a circle. Okay. And this represents your market. So as a business owner, what you tend to do, what you will, what's most practical to do is you would actually place your food stall, your gas station right in the middle of the market. So the reason for this is that so that you will be at the optimal position to serve everybody coming from the north, south, east, and west. So the center is the best position. Now the thing is, all your other competitors or all other similar companies are actually thinking the same. So what tends to happen is that all of you will be going to the center, to the optimal position, and then therefore clustering happens, and that basically why it happens. So yeah, hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. All right, let's remove that. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so that basically covers the factors that we usually look at when considering where to put a warehouse. So the next lesson is really going to be is more on tools, specific frameworks. We will actually use to evaluate these location alternatives. All right. Thank you.